Hello and welcome back to another episode of Coffee with a Kick. We are here for Matchday 32 Predicciones. We're going to lump together our reactions to 31 and 32 on the other side of the weekend. But until then, we're going to go ahead and move right into our predictions for this week, if you've got nothing to say there, Keegan.
Well, only thing I have to say is Kevin De Bruyne announced he is leaving Man City this summer. So that was...
I did
see that. It was a sad announcement, but, you know.
Yes, I was going to cover that in my prediction for this weekend, but
yeah,
it is a big bit of news.
Big news.
Big news. And we'll do a fuller breakdown of the ramifications of that in the recap episode on the other side of the weekend. But first, we'll go ahead and start off with Everton versus Arsenal, 7:30 a.m. on Saturday, tomorrow. How do you have this one kicking off the weekend?
I've got it 1-1. Arsenal has some issues in the back. Gabriel's out for the season. A couple of attackers still kind of on the injury list. So I think Everton, a little hard done by to not draw versus Liverpool. So I think they get a draw this weekend, 1-1.
Well, I think Everton's going to be on a come down from their match against Liverpool, and it'll be a pretty tidy 3-0 victory for Arsenal. No more reason than they are a more talented squad than Everton. From there, we will move on to Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace and Brighton Hove Albion. This one, I think Brighton is away from home, so that means they've got a shot. And I think that they actually do take it to Crystal. I think they take it, not by an insane amount, but a nice 2-1 victory for Brighton Hove Albion away from home.
Yeah, I think it's 1-1. I think both these teams want to play more defensively as of late. And both teams kind of just want to get some points. Start getting a little bit up on the table, because I'm looking at it now, and Brighton's in 8th. They're still in that European talk. And Crystal Palace, if they go on a run like they've been, 4 games unbeaten, if they keep that up, they could also vie for some Europe. So I think this is 1-1, though. Brighton, good enough to get a point out of it.
Yeah, they do have that consideration to make. And then a very important match for the bottom of the table. With the results from the last weekend, not exactly going to make it a surefire thing, but probably so. Probably so. It'll either make it very much closer or put it pretty much at a distance. Ipswich Town hosts my Wolves. Wolves have 9 points on Ipswich Town after the weekend. So if they win, they go up 12, and that's probably curtains for Ipswich Town. If Wolves lose, then now it's only 6 points, and that is not an insurmountable amount by any stretch of the imagination. So this will be a big match for my Wolves. I'm going to go ahead and call my shot. I'm going to have them take it. I don't like to pick them to win because they don't typically win when I pick them to win. But I'm going to say 2-1 with like a late game winner, basically dashing the hopes of Ipswich Town from somehow resurrecting their season.
Yeah. Important game. Wolves, really a draw or a win will help extend their lead, because even 9 points feels a bit insurmountable.
Fair.
But you're right. If Ipswich wins this, I mean, 6 points, not as big as 9. I do think right there with you, Wolves get a late dramatic winner. Away from home, I have it 3-2. But I think Ipswich is going to put up a fight. They'll smell the opportunity, and Wolves are going to, again, we've been saying it all year, Wolves, a lot better of a team than their points might suggest, and I think they'll show it in this one with a win.
Yeah, it's been a much better 2025 than 2024. Really, it's been a much better since February? Yeah, since February. We just ignored January. If the year started in February, it'd be a great 2025.
Oh yeah.
But we will move on from the Wolves to West Ham and Bournemouth. West Ham and Bournemouth. What do you have for this one?
I think it's 2-2. West Ham's going to want to get back on track. Bournemouth is probably one of the worst forms than anyone else in the Premier League outside the bottom 2. Last 5, they picked up 1 point.
Yeah,
lost 4 of them. And I think West Ham, they need some results here, so I think they get it 2-2 at home. Won't be a win, but it'll be a good result for them.
I have them getting full honors on this one. I've got West Ham taking it 2-0 to Bournemouth, and Bournemouth continues their slide from where they were at a very impressive 5th place prior to this cataclysmic trajectory they've been on the past couple of weeks. But we'll see. I mean, we'll see this weekend. Then we go to Aston Villa, who are now putting a lot of pressure on the top end of the table. Really pushing for that European spot with some of their recent results. They take on Nottingham Forest, who continues to be disrespected in the units. As such, I'm taking the units. I'm going to take Nottingham Forest 3-1 over Aston Villa.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I think because it's at Aston Villa's place, I'm going to go 0-0 draw. I think both these teams are good enough to pretty much play even with each other. I think both teams have been like kind of goal heavy for the last couple of weeks. But Nottingham showed last week like they can win close games, low scoring games. I just think the way Aston Villa plays at home versus away probably tends to a more low score game, and I think a draw is going to happen. I'm going to go 0-0, double bagel.
Double bagel, I think Aston Villa will take that. I think Aston Villa will take that. They're pretty secure in 3rd at this point. Chelsea, we'll get to Chelsea here right now. They go to Brentford, the G-Tech Community Stadium. How do you have that one breaking down?
Chelsea, I mean, they're the better team. They're in 4th, Brentford in 11th. Brentford kind of wishy-washy form. Chelsea might say the same thing as well.
Yeah.
But I think that their previous loss, they've won 3 of their last 4, and they only lost to Arsenal 1-0 at the Emirates. So I think after beating Tottenham 1-0, I think they'll go into the G-Tech Stadium, take it 2-1.
2-1, wow. I actually have this being one of those games where Chelsea just doesn't show up. Yeah, they've won 3 of the last 4, but they've also played Southampton, Leicester, and Tottenham. You must remember. Prior to that, they lost 3-0 at home to Brighton and at Aston Villa. So, their away form is not that great, aside from because they lost. These were all home matches? Yeah, these are all home matches, those 3 or 4 that they've won. So they are away here, and I think that Brentford takes it 3-0. As bold a pick as that is, that's what I'm going with. And then we move from there to one of those London derbies, a local derby. Oh, wait, no. Sorry, I misread that. That's Fulham and Liverpool. Liverpool definitively not in London. I can tell you that much. Fulham and Liverpool. For this, I'm going to have Liverpool drop some points. Fulham is a pretty stingy team at home. And I think that they pull off one of their 1-1 draws that they've done in the early part of the season. Recently, they've either won or lost. They have not had a draw since January 5th at home.
So they're due.
Just in general, they haven't had a draw since then.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I have it 0-0. Another double bagel.
Another double bagel. A double
bagel. I think they're going to be up for the challenge. Liverpool, they're 12 points ahead. Based on my prediction, they'll see the Arsenal had dropped points the day before. Yeah. And really, with Liverpool, injuries are starting to creep into their team, so they might be switching things around, fielding different people. But, yeah, I have it double bagel, 0-0. Well.
Arsenal, again, missing out on the opportunity to close the gap in your prediction. And then we move to Tottenham and Southampton. How do you have this one going?
Not great for Southampton. I think it'll be 3-0. Tottenham, I think, will be pretty hard done by to not get any points out of the week match with Chelsea. So I think they'll put the hammer on them, and we'll take it 3-0.
I have Tottenham getting all 3 as well, but 2-1. Southampton will put up a little bit more of a fight. They got a point in the midweek, which is huge for them. It was a whole 10th of their points from the whole season, as sad as that is to say. But they did get 10% of their points this past weekend with a draw. Imagine if they could just get 3 at some point. I don't think they will. Have they won? They've won 1, right? Oh, 2. They've won a whole 2 matches this season and drawn 4. Wow. Who did they beat? They beat Ipswich Town and Everton. Blemishes.
Yeah, right now Southampton, I mean, they've got plenty of games left, but they're playing with fire. Lowest points in Premier League history, Derby County with 11 in 07-08. So if I'm Southampton, a couple of draws get you over that hump, but I mean, you only got 8 matches left to get that point. And I'm not, Crystal Palace one was big, but the rest of their season's not looking too great as far as fixtures go. So, like, I don't know where they're going to get that point. Will they get it against Aston Villa, Fulham, City, Arsenal, Everton, West Ham, they play Leicester at Leicester. So maybe that's where they kick it up a notch, but rest of their schedule is top half teams. And it's going to be hard for them to get over that 11 point.
It's either going to be, they're both away matches, but it's either at Leicester or at Everton that they're going to have their shots. Yeah, because I don't see much else on there. I don't see many other point opportunities on there. Unless Arsenal is totally out of it on the last match day and they're at home. I mean, that's a big ask, obviously. But you could see them not playing everyone if they're just solidly in second with nothing to play for. Maybe. I don't know. You'd have your home side behind you at least. Maybe. Maybe also. And then we move to the other side of the Manchester derby. With the aforementioned departure of Kevin De Bruyne announced, I'm gonna peg this one as a 2-2 draw. As disappointing as that will be for City, I think that they will be feeling the morose environs caused by the imminent departure of Kevin De Bruyne.
I have it as a 4-1 Man City victory. It's Man U beat us at home 2-1. They're going to try to perform the double on us. First time they possibly could do that since 2019. But City under Pep have been pretty ruthless when it comes to being at Man U, being at Old Trafford. I just think that they're going to take it even without Haaland. I don't even know if De Bruyne is going to play, but 4-1. Man U hasn't kept a clean sheet in their last 10. Wow. I think I read that, their last 10 home matches. So it's going to be tough for them to even stay in it if City is humming that day. So I think 4-1.
4-1. And then to wrap up the weekend, actually this will be on Monday, so it's even past the weekend. But Monday is Leicestercity and Newcastle United. How do you have this last one shaking out?
4-0 Newcastle. I don't think Leicester really stands a chance. At this point, Leicester fans are showing up to the games to be able to see the other team's star players. Yeah. And I think that Newcastle star players will give them a show. 4-0.
Guimaraes. We're going to get some Guimaraes sightings. I think he's still in Newcastle, right?
He is.
Yes. Yeah. Bruno Guimaraes. I had it as 4-0 as well. I moved it to 3-0. I will move. Because I don't think Leicester's got anything in the tank at this point. What are they even playing for? They're already not the worst team ever. They have now lost 7 in a row since they beat Tottenham. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think they make it a clean 8. And I mean, they're just coasting. They're just coasting on their early season performance. As I think we talked about this in the last episode, that they have a total of 4 points since December 8th. That's bad.
Yeah, which, I mean, if they keep that up, that run would probably go down in history as the worst run over 25 matches for sure. But they're not good. It's the project didn't working out for Van Nistelrooy. I think he'll get the boot here pretty soon.
Yeah, I mean, if you split the season in half, 38 and 38, they have at match day, Well, we have to see what happens at the end. But starting at match day 19 going forward, because that'll get you. Sorry, starting at match day 20, because that will get you halfway through. They have won once since then. They have 3 points in this half of the season. In 2025, they have 3 points.
There you go.
That is bad, and we both think that trend will continue. What will not continue is this episode, because we have now come to the end of it. Anything you want to say before we get out of here?
It's a Manchester derby weekend. That's exciting. I feel like most of the season is kind of winding down. We kind of know who's going to win. We kind of know who's going down. So I think these next 5 match days will be those where it's like, we'll watch, but will I be excited to watch? Maybe. I don't know. But there's not really a lot of storylines going on besides Ipswich Wolves that makes you excited about, oh, this has implications. Those last 3 match days, I think, will be the real true, these 2 teams are tied for 5th. We'll see who can win it out type of deal. But right now, it's kind of just do your job, get some points, and coast till the end.
Yep. All right. Well, let's see if we can coast to the end of this episode until we get back. Well, why don't you go ahead? You know what? Go ahead and subscribe on YouTube. Go ahead and subscribe on Substack. You sometimes will get articles on Substack when we don't have episodes. So if you were like, where were they on this match day? There's probably an article that you missed because you're not subscribed on Substack. Now, at this point, we're going to say goodbye. And until we see you again, why don't you go ahead and grab your coffee, watch some soccer, and we will see you on the other side. Hi, name